All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be on the Palmetto State Armory Krink. So if you're not familiar or you've been living under a rock, this is an AK platform. This one particularly is chambered in 5.56, and this is modeled after one of the most iconic AK platforms arguably in the world, and that is the Krink. So PSA made their rendition of the Krink, and that's what you see here. And again, it's chambered in 5.56. That's not traditionally what the Krink would come in, but I think that this is a good choice by PSA given the ammo availability and scarceness of 5.45. And so going with 5.56 was a good choice. So we've got this package out here. We've got a lot of testing to do. We've got a lot of points we really want to address. And there's been a lot of rumors and also a lot of issues that people have been having. And I want to specifically address those. But what you've got is an 8-inch barrel. You've got your Krink booster here. That's very common. You've got this beautiful, nice, this PSA is calling it their rendition of bakelite, and that's what you've got there. You've got a nice spring-loaded dust cover here. You've got your iconic Krink iron sights. You've got a slick side 5.56 magazine by PSA. Again, you've got a bakelite pistol grip here. You do have a side mounting rail here, and then you've got a side folding triangle brace. I think that PSA did a good job while fitting into the bounds of what's possible. So of course, I'd like to see a real stock back here, but this is a pistol according to the GTF, and so that's what it is. But PSA did a really nice job. The fit and finish is really nice. I mean, it's just a beautiful gun in and of itself. And that's kind of what today's video is going to be, is testing of this gun in its base platform, and then we'll have some follow-on videos and testing for as far as upgrades go, maybe putting the Sure Shot Armament Group chassis on here once it finally comes out, and you know, just testing it to its fullest extent. But today I just want to get the gun zeroed. I want to put some guns downrange, and then following that I want to add an optic to the gun. I've got a AK master mount with a Novus Precision MDS3 red dot that I'm going to throw in here, and I just want to show what the gun's capable out of the box before we make any major changes to it. Now, one thing I really want to address is the type of ammo I'm using, and that's coming off some of the problems and concerns that people are having. So I'm going to be using some GGG 5.56 Turkish ammo. That's a brass, nice 5.56 ammo. But I'm also going to be using Golden Tiger steel case ammo, and that is purely for the fact that there have been some individuals who've been getting some stuck casings in the barrel. H-Tone Werewolf's got a video on it, and Clayco 47's got a video on it. So I want to address those and see if I have those same issues or if I'm able to run the gun no problem. I'm going to run some typical drills that you'd see, and also just kind of mag dumping into some trash. And the point of that is to get the gun high and see if we can induce any of those malfunctions. But at the end of the day, we want to show the shootability of the gun, the reliability of the gun, and how it performs in its base configuration. We'll add the red dot on. We'll run those drills again, show how they are. I really want to do an accuracy test, so that's what we're going to do as well. And I'll throw some pictures up of the groups that we get. And overall, just show how the gun's performing with this initial break-in period. Now, of course, we're not going to stop there. We'll have follow-on videos to show the long-term reviews of this gun. But as of right now, I just want to get this out and get these concerns addressed and show you what my personal experience is. And I'm also going to show the wear and tear as far as the internals go in the gun. I'll overlay some pictures as well. I've got some initial pictures before firing the gun, and then I'm going to get some pictures as far as firing the gun after the fact. And I've been uploading them into some of the big AK groups, especially the AK files, asking for some second opinions on the wear and tear. I'm not an AK guru or you know, one of those nerds by any means. There's a lot smarter individuals out there, but I do like the platform, and so I'm going to run it and speak to it to the best of my abilities. But let's get to it. We've got a lot to do. We're going to get the accuracy going, accuracy test going. We'll do some drills. Then we'll have the red dot, zero that, and then do some more drills and speak to the ammo availability and the magazine, and we'll go from there. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is just get some rounds through the gun. I want to maintain a very consistent rate of fire to start with. So I've got a magazine filled with some of that GGG ammo, that's brass case 5.56, and I just want to go ahead and start pumping some rounds down range and see if we have any initial issues before we do the zeroing and the drills to come. So yeah, I've got a magazine loaded up. I've got 10 rounds. I'm just going to dump it pretty quickly right here, and then we'll move on. Okay. Well, there's the first 10 rounds. No issues. I love it. Let's keep going. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is just get some rounds down range, get them on steel. And I'm at about 50 yards. I'm gonna be shooting at a 12-inch steel target and just get some rounds on paper with the iron sights and just get a feel for the gun and how it's performing. So anyways, here we go. All right, there's 10 rounds. I got that on target, no issues. The iron sights aren't great, but that's not a hit on PSA. I think that's more on the platform itself. AK iron sights usually aren't that great, and these are no exception. I'm really gonna like putting a red dot on it, but for now, these will do. All right, so I've got the PSA Krink here. I added an AK master mount rear bias version, and I've got the Novus Precision MDS-3. So we're gonna take this, we've now got an optic on the Krink, we're gonna do a quick zero, and then we're gonna start our testing with the inclusion of the optic now. So I'm at about 50 yards, so I'm gonna look at getting the rifle zeroed before we move on to the next. All right, I'm gonna finish getting this walked in, but before I do that, I do want to say that this red dot is extremely bright, and it's pretty bright out here. It's a little bit overcast, but there is a lot of light out here. I can still see the dot very well, and I'm actually gonna have to turn it down a little bit. But I'm gonna get this zeroed, and then we'll continue on with the rest. All right, so I got the Novus Precision MDS-3 zeroed at 50 yards. So we're gonna put some rounds on steel, and they'll move on to magazine compatibility, and just putting some steel case rounds to the gun. Again, I'm at 50 yards, just hitting some steel. All right, magazine's empty. We're getting rounds on steel though, I'm happy. All right, so now that we got the gun zeroed with the MDS-3 by Novus Precision, we're gonna look at magazine compatibility. So the gun ships with a slick side PSA 5.56 magazine, so we know it works. But the other 5.56 magazine I have are the AC Unity 30 round magazines with the window cut. In addition to that, we're gonna be looking at shooting some steel case ammo. Now, I've kept this review from going out because I wanted to do some a little bit more robust testing based purely on some of the early reports that are coming out about the gun. One thing that a lot of people are apparently having some issues with is steel case ammo. So I've got a couple hundred rounds of steel case Golden Tiger steel case ammo, 5.56. I'm gonna be shooting through that and seeing if I have any of the same issues. So if you're not aware, there's been some individuals who, while using steel case, had some of the casings get stuck in the gun and had to ramrod them out. So again, we're gonna be testing steel case ammo to see if we have that issue, and also testing out the AC Unity 30 round magazines. So here we go. I'm gonna be shooting at steel 50 yards. So right off the bat, it's a very, very tight fit. It seems to have gotten locked in, so we're gonna run it, but a very tight fit to say the least. All right, here we go, shooting at some steel, 50 yards. All right, so the gun seems to be feeding. I don't have any issues yet with the steel case, so I'm gonna shoot at a little bit faster tempo and see if we can heat the gun up and see if there's any issues. All right, we got her smoking. Gun's empty. No issues so far. We're gonna load up a couple magazines and just throw in, again, I brought a couple 100 rounds of steel case ammo. We're gonna see if we can get some issues or recreate some of the issues that we've seen online. But if not, I'll let you guys know. All right, so I'm about to run this last magazine. That'll put us at about 100 rounds and about the span of 10 minutes as far as steel case ammo go. This is the slick side magazine. It has a real nice fit, especially compared to the AC Unity magazine. It's not as stiff and hard to get in. But we're gonna run it real quick, check the ejection pattern, and then we'll move on to the rest. All right, magazine's empty. Gun's clear. All right, so I'm at the 15-yard line. We're gonna get back to the original testing. So as you notice, like I just mentioned, we've got the Novus Precision MDS3 optic on there. And I wanted to put that on there to kind of show the shootability without having to change a whole lot about the gun and just the shootability in general. So we're gonna shoot at the target here. I've got my shot timer. We're gonna just be doing some basic drills that I usually do and just look at the shootability. I do wanna say that even with the booster up here in the front, the gun is really controllable, and I really like that. At 50 yards, I was shooting a little bit faster than I usually do, and I was able to keep all the rounds on the silhouette size target there. So I really like that. I'm sure up close I'm gonna be able to really run through it. Now, as you notice, I've got a glove on, and that's because this thing gets freaking daggum hot. If you're gonna buy this gun and you're gonna shoot it, I really get a good pair of gloves because you're gonna need it. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just some simple up drills off the timer, one shot center mass, and then we'll move on from there. All right, here we go. All right. .61. .51. 0.56. And I did all those from the low ready. That's traditionally how I like to go about it. But yeah, let's move on to the next. So the next thing we're gonna do is a 2 to the chest, 1 to the head, and we're gonna do that a couple of times. And again, just show the shootability. Here we go. .148. Now, what I did there was a controlled pair versus a hammered pair. I wanted to be intentional with those shots and get my reticle back on target before I pulled the trigger again. Now I'm gonna do a hammered pair, and it should be a lot quicker. .117. Let's do it again. .103. One more time. .114. Now again, I just said it, but this gun is really controllable. This is an 8-inch barrel, roughly 5.56. You don't expect that to necessarily be super controllable, but I really like it. Even when the booster is super flat, and I'm able to really control the gun, and I really like that. So anyways, we're gonna continue on. All right, so the next thing we're gonna be doing is one reload, one drill. So I'm gonna take one shot, center mass, reload, and engage the target one more time. And we're gonna continue testing, see how fast that is. I'm using the slick side PSA magazines that came with the gun, so we shouldn't have any issues with that fitment that we saw with the AC Unity magazines. And just for the record, I'm still using steel cased ammo, that Golden Tiger. I'm gonna run that for a little bit and see, again, if there's any issues with the gun, especially with getting it nice and hot. Haven't been any so far, and I hope that it stays that way, but if there are, I'll let you know. Anyways, one reload, one off the timer, let's go. All right. 4 flat. All right, again. 4.52. All right, again. 4.26. I'm pretty happy with that. AK reloads aren't as easy as AR-15 platforms, but I'm pretty happy with that. That's still pretty good, so I'll take it. All right, so the next drill we're gonna do is alternating between 4 targets. We're gonna hit one target and then increase by 1 shot, going all the way to 4, and then back down to 1. So it's gonna be 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back down. Again, we're just trying to get the rifle hot, see if the steel case causes any issues, and also just demonstrate the shootability of this gun, especially when adding an optic to it versus using iron sights. But anyways, here we go. This is gonna be off the timer. Again, alternating between 4 targets. All right, 877. I had to make up some shots here because I missed, but still not bad. The rifle's really good. I'm shooting at 12-inch steel targets. I'm at about 25 yards. So again, not too bad. I'll take it. And the last thing I'm gonna do is just dump these rounds. I wanna go as fast as possible and try to induce a malfunction. And if I don't have an issue, then great. Let's keep going. Gun's empty. 208. I don't even know how many shots that was, but I'll take it. The gun's really controllable and I'm really liking it. Also, this Novus Precision MDS3, I'm gonna have a review coming on just this optic alone. I'm really liking it. Testing's been great so far, and the aesthetic, unmatched. It's kind of nice to have a little switch up. But again, I'll have a review coming that separately. Today's about the Krink. All right, so we've just passed 500 rounds through the PSA Krink, and I feel good enough as far as the break-in period goes for giving my initial thoughts on this gun and the performance with how this gun's been for me personally. Now, I wanted to get this review out a lot sooner than I am, but there's a reason I kept it so long. When the gun first came out, everything was going great, and then some reports started coming out about a couple issues that people were having. Mainly, the casing's getting stuck in the barrel. Now, that's obviously a big deal, and personally, I think that a gun, especially an AK, should be able to run steel case ammo. And so when the reports started coming out that steel case rounds were getting stuck in the gun, that was obviously concerning. And so I wanted to devote a lot of time and effort into testing that and seeing if I had any issues as far as that goes. So that's what I want to address first off. I ran initially 300 to 350 rounds of some Turkish GGG 5.56 ammo. It is a brass case ammo. It did really well. I had no issues with it. When the reports started coming out, that's when I switched over to the Golden Tiger 223. That is a steel cased ammo, and I wanted to see if I had any issues with it. There's some great videos out there. Clayco 47, H-Town Werewolf. They've got videos displaying some of the issues that they were having. And so I really wanted to test that out personally. So I got the gun high. I was running as fast as I could, just doing some general drills that I would do, and just seeing if I could induce a malfunction with that steel case ammo. I'm very, very, very happy to say that I personally did not have any issues, and I know there are people that have not had issues. But again, that's a concerning issue to have, and so I did want to address that first and foremost. Now back to the gun, just in general, the gun's been great. I'm gonna post some photos of the internals as far as wear and tear goes, but I've been monitoring the internal wear as far as the gun goes, and I haven't seen anything concerning. I've been specifically taking photos and posting them in some of the big AK groups and getting some second opinions, but I haven't seen anything concerning. So the internals, as far as shooting them and any wear and tear, I haven't seen anything concerning, and I don't think anybody has as far as this gun personally goes. Second off, the gun's just really nice. Again, reliability's been 100%. I'm really happy about that. An 8-inch barrel shooting 5.56, that's not exactly ideal. And I know that this platform does a lot better with 5.45, but with the way that ammo is going and as far as ammo availability goes, 5.56 is the obvious winner here. And so I'm glad to have this gun. Now, I did do some 100-yard accuracy groups, and of course you're not going to take this out to distance, but we will going forward just to see how it performs. But as far as practicality goes, 100 yards and in, I think that's very reasonable. And so I did an accuracy test using the GGG Turkish ammo that I told you about, the 5.56 ammo, and I put a 4x prism optic on here, and I was able to get about a 3¼ inch groups at 100 yards. And that's another point of contention as far as this gun goes. So Administrative Results put out a video where he was pretty much getting horrendous results at 100 yards. And I kind of get it, except for I don't think that was necessarily fair to the gun and its performance. He's using a red dot, unsupported, no bag, kind of just willy-nilly accuracy test. And that's okay, but I wanted to give a more accurate representation of what this gun was capable of. So I took it out, 100 yards exactly, 4-time prism optic, and was able to get some very nice groups, 3 1/4 inch groups at 100 yards. And for me personally, 5.56 out of an 8-inch barrel, I think that's okay, and I think that's very respectable. So that's the second thing. But yeah, the gun's been great. I haven't been able to test all the magazines that I want to, but with the magazines that I do have, they do fit. This is the slick side PSA mag, and then I had the AC Unity 30 round magazine. It fit as well. It was a little bit tight, but it did fit. You just got to really lock it in there. But I didn't have any fitting issues, and at the end of the day, that's what's important. So overall, my impressions with the gun, and for this 500 to 600 round break-in period that I've had with it, has been a very positive one. I haven't had any reliability issues, no issues with needing certain types of ammo or magazines. So all in all, I think that's a great win. The accuracy of the gun is good enough in my opinion. And if you can take this gun out to 300 yards, I'd say you've got a very respectable weapon on your hands. And going forward, that's what we're gonna do. Now, as you see it, it's still mostly in its stock configuration minus the AK Master Mount and the Novus Precision Optic. But I really wanted to demonstrate the capabilities of this gun in its most basic form, obviously minus the optic, before we move on to maybe putting a Sure Shot Armament Group chassis on there and seeing what this gun's really capable of. But out of the box, I'm really happy with it. The iron sights are a little difficult to use, but that's AKs in general, so I really recommend throwing an optic on there. Plug, Novus Precision, MDS3 is a great choice for that. But all in all, I can recommend this gun. Again, there have been some issues that other users and other shooters have had with this weapon, but from my experience alone, I have not had those issues, and I'm really happy about that. So I can comfortably recommend this gun as of right now. Now, of course, testing is going to go on. We're going to get this round count up high. We're going to use this in some competitions going forward. And I really, really want to try to break this gun for the simple fact of showing its durability and reliability. So if it stands up to the test, great, I'll let you know. If it doesn't, great, I'll let you know. As of right now, you can pick this up, and I feel good about telling you that. Again, I'm going to overlay some pictures of the internals, and you make the decision for yourself. At the end of the day, I'm just a guy on the internet shooting a gun. Thank you for tuning in, but you've got to make your own decisions and do the testing so that you can trust it with your own heart and mind as far as reliability and is this a good enough weapon. For me personally, I paid my own money for this. This was not cherry picked for me. I paid 100% of the price and I'm happy with it. I can recommend it. The gun gets hot. I'm going to switch it up going forward, and the testing is going to continue going forward. But as of right now, I'm happy with it. Guys, thank you so much for the support that y'all are showing me. Thank you so much for just the feedback that I'm getting from you guys and the questions that I hope to be providing answers to you. I'm here for you guys as much as I'm here for myself. I really enjoy creating content and just being able to test these guns out and see, how they're going to fare for your common man. I'm just a regular dude. I'm nothing fancy, nothing special. I'm a normal dude just like you. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be out here providing these answers for you. But we're going to wrap it up. Again, thank you so much. Get out, train, shoot, touch grass, pull some triggers yourself, and just get out and enjoy nature and have some fun with your buddies. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all are awesome. Keep showing the support, and I'll keep putting out content for you guys. Thank you so much. Take care.